Hi guys, welcome back to Awakeham. Welcome if you're new. I'm Emma. I'm back with March week 4's cash spends and review, as well as a review of March's budget. Cash stuffing for April week 1 will take place in another video. If you're new to cash envelope stuffing or budgeting, or your current money management methods aren't working out, this video and my others could be helpful to you. So starting with my cash expenses folder and groceries first. Of the £100 I put in here last week, I have just these pennies left. I actually overspent by £30, so I'll let you know where I found the extra cash or which envelopes I pinched it from. And I'll put this in my tin. So I actually made a video on week 4's shop, which was at Aldi. I spent £125 there because I bought some Mother's Day treats, and I also treated my mum and auntie and my girls to an afternoon tea on Saturday to celebrate Mother's Day. Oh, and my dad and uncle did come along too, hence the table full of food. It was so nice, and it cost less than half the amount I would have spent if I'd agreed to go for a family pub lunch. And the girls loved helping to decorate, dip the strawberries in chocolate and top the scones. Over the weekend, I had to pick up some butter and milk and a few other bits, totaling £5. So yeah, that puts my total grocery spend last week up to £130. Diesel, the £70 stuffed in here, surprise, surprise, was used last week to get me through. The average price per litre of diesel in the UK is currently £1.77. Just to put things into perspective, this time last year, the average was around £1.28 a litre, and there's been an equally high rise in petrol costs, so it's been quite a dramatic rise and a shock to a lot of people's budgets, especially if driving by car is their only viable means of transport to work or other essential journeys, as in my case at the minute. Eating out, I just had £20 in here last week for what was going to be my first Indian takeaway in a while, but instead this went towards my £30 grocery overspend at Aldi. But it was so worth the sacrifice. One of the purchases I made that pushed my grocery spend up was this orchid and candle, which lasts a lot longer than a takeaway. And the afternoon tea that I arranged at the weekend was enough of a treat anyway, to be fair. Kids' pocket money, Bella had nothing left in here last week. I'm going to be repeating myself here. Car cleaning, I had nothing in here at all last month. Windows, I had nothing left in here last week. Planned spending, I didn't need to use. And on to sinking funds. In days out, again, I had nothing left in here last week. In gifts, I just had these pennies, but I can take these out now, again for my tin. Health, I had nothing left in here last week. Clothing, nothing left last week. This is an easy video, isn't it? Benny had £10 left in here last week to go towards his groom, but it's been cancelled twice and I can't get him into the same groomer or any other for a few weeks. I'm telling you, dog grooming is where the business seems to be at around here, and where the money's at as well, because it's just over £40 for Benny to be groomed and he's only small. Anyway, Benny let me have his £10 left in here to go towards my Aldi overspend, which included some flowers that he wanted to buy for me for Mother's Day. Holidays, nothing has ever been in this envelope, but one day that will change, and that's why it's staying here. Christmas, the £150 I stuffed in here this month remains untouched, so I still have £450 in here of my £1,500 target for the year. Miscellaneous, nothing left last week. You can tell it's the end of the month. Emergency fund, the £100 stuffed in here this month also remains untouched. So there's £410 in here still towards my 1k target for the year. Car maintenance, there's nothing left in there. And savings, I did have some pound coins in here, but I've switched them up for a £10 note, just so my folder's not as heavy. Of my £700 savings target for Lydia's school prom, I have so far saved £285. There's only £10 in here because the other £275 is being used to pay deposits on things like a ticket, limousine, dress and beauty. So I am getting there. It's better than this looks. And we're all done on sinking funds. So now to review March's budget. So I've already gone ahead and filled out my actuals after going through my online banking app and weekly reviews against what I budgeted. Fixed expenses, except for the odd few pence, these came in bang on as expected. So my actuals actually match my budget. On cash expenses, I spent an extra £25 on groceries, £45 less on eating out, £15 less on Bella's pocket money. So I expected to spend £790, but only spent £755, meaning I spent £35 less than budgeted on cash expenses. Sinking funds, I spent less on clothing, less on Benny, less on miscellaneous than budgeted. So I expected to spend £750, but only spent £615, meaning I spent £135 less on sinking funds. In savings, I had planned to save another £100 towards Lydia's prom bill, but I used some money from my cash expenses and sinking funds to top this up to £270 because, as I mentioned earlier, I needed to pay some deposits on things. So I've already gone ahead and filled out my monthly review sheet. The end of month March total income I've missed off actually. 3,020. Pretty much what I've just been over, but yeah, fixed budget 1380, actual 1380, difference 0. Cash budget 790, actual 755, 35 less. Sinking funds budget 750, actual 615, 135 less. Savings budget 100, actual 270, difference £170 more. So my budget and actual balanced out and have 0 balance left over. Okay, this again meant me moving money from sinking funds like health, but I have just a couple of paydays left to pay for Lydia's prom and all that comes with it. And the quicker I do this, the sooner I'll have cash available to top up other sinking funds like health. So yeah, I don't mind. I am looking forward to at least having something saved in health though soon. Additional income. Yes guys, I made some additional income during March. I did this by clearing up my shed of unwanted clutter. This was actually a goal I'd set for March, to rid myself of it and allow other people to get use out of the things I no longer need, but also to help me with me savings goals. So I'm really pleased that I managed to make, well actually £112 on Sunday at my local car boot sale. But from this, I had to pay a £20 car parking charge. And then on my way home, I treated myself to a Greg's breakfast and bought some cakes for the girls. So yeah, the actual cash brought home in my lovely bum bag. Yes, I did wear one and I'm not even sorry. It's so much easier and safer than stuffing money into pockets. The actual cash brought home was £85. I really did want to film my car boot sale experience, from emptying the shed and filling the car to setting up my stall, the whole thing. But I did have a lot to sift through and organise, and yeah, it was enough of a challenge just doing all that. I do have some bits left to sell, so I'll film the next one for you and I'll share some hints and tips on how to prepare for and sell at a car boot sale, just in case you're thinking of having a declutter and heading to one yourself to earn some extra cash like I have. I also traded in an Xbox pad at Game for £30. putting my additional income up to £115. So I can't wait to stuff this extra cash in my first cash stuffing video of April, which is coming very soon, guys, and will be a big one. So if you haven't already, hit that bell button so you don't miss out. Okay, and lastly, I have a new total for my bank buffer, which is money I've simply left in the bank when my fixed expenses have come in slightly less, for example. So I had £64 left at the end of February, and then actually £16, not 14, from March. And then BT owed me £50 after overcharging me a couple of months ago, which you may remember. And yes, I finally had this refunded, putting my bank buffer now at £130, which is just so comforting to have for when you get unexpectedly overcharged, or who knows, your direct debits spike a bit, which mine maybe will as soon as the energy bills go up. I don't think you should take every single last penny out of the bank. Have a plan for every penny, yes, but don't leave yourself short, because you'll end up in your overdraft or with bank charges, which I know from past experience can really dent your budget. So March hasn't been a bad month. It's really good to see I was able to control my spending on eating out for once, which has, even until very recently, been a problem for me. It's allowed me to put more money into, well, savings for Lydia's prom, really. It's very good to see my shed looking less cluttered, even though there's still some work to be done, and some extra cash for April's stuffing as a result, because April is looking tough, guys. Some of my fixed expenses have increased. It's a 5-week month for me. I have some balances due on Lydia's prom. So up next is April's budget with me video. Give this a watch if you'd like to see how I managed to balance this tricky budget. Maybe you're struggling to cover all of your expenses or achieve your savings goals on time and need some ideas for getting back on track, so I'll share some with you. Thank you so much once again for being here. It's really exciting to see my channel growing. I'm almost at 700 subscribers now in 4 months. But more exciting is reading the comments from you guys on the changes you've made to your budget or your lifestyle after discovering me and my channel, and being inspired to budget or cash stuff or focus on living more intentionally. So please, guys, continue to share your own developments, experiences, and maybe even advice, because this too helps anyone subscribe to my channel or just visiting to watch my videos. I appreciate all of you, and I hope March has been a good month for your financial journey. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful and insightful. Let me know by giving me a like or by sharing your thoughts in the comments. Hit the bell and subscribe button for more content like this and on planning and intentional living. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.